Hi there, my name's Olivia, and welcome back to... I'm going to be your host for today, and I am going to be your guide through this mental madness. A couple months ago, I had a hard time eating. I lost about 10 pounds, and I realized, wow, mental health and food are really connected. So I decided to create a cooking show. This is the first episode. If you'd like to join me for the ride, feel free to. I have a lot of people in my personal life that I'm very excited to have on here who are going to be able to cook lots and lots of things with me that maybe I've never even heard of or you've never even heard of. But a lot of these people have helped me through a lot of struggles, and I thought maybe they could help you too. That being said, let's roll the dough. Here lies the magical recipe box. Olivia's recipe box. Z, would you read the recipe?
Recipe: Cucumber Conquest. Ingredients: 2 cucumbers, 1 cup green grapes, 1 cup red grapes, 1 cup cilantro. Directions: dice cucumber, half all grapes, cut leaves of cilantro into the bowl, and last of all, mix all into the bowl.
Thanks, brother. Time to prep. That was a side camera alert. You did not look at my dirty dishes. Do not skip backwards to look at my dirty dishes. Welcome. So this first episode is going to be just me, but in the future there will be other people, which will be pretty cool. I'm excited for you guys to meet some of my friends. Abracadabra! Ha! Next, we'll start with the single and only cutting board that I own. Don't ask me why I only own one cutting board. I just only own one cutting board, okay? This magical produce has been picked from the top of the best mountains. I'm talking the safari. I have been given a knife. So one of my favorite things about this recipe is that it's all green. A lot of people think that green things have to taste bad, but they really don't. I'm not gonna lie, when I started doing this, it was like 11 p.m. and then I got really tired, and so now it's like a week later and all of these grapes are very ripe. Not in a bad way, in like the perfect way, because they come from the mountains. The mountains. I slaved away to get these grapes. Just saying. I like to cut them in half, but you can do it however you want. And when I first started creating this recipe, it was actually because I was talking to a friend of mine who was talking about how cucumbers would go well with lime. And I thought about a couple other green things that could go together, and it kind of just was created in my head. I've had a couple people tell me different things about this recipe. I've had people tell me they hate cilantro and they will not try it. Others have told me, particularly some family, which you never know if family's actually telling you what they think, but some said I should enter it into a cooking competition, which I probably will not, but I will share it with you guys. Let's use some fall vibes, keep the vision going. Beautiful, and if you have a sharp knife, this took me like literally less than a minute to do. Just as long as you've seen me talking, probably. Again, it's been a week. This cucumber's a little wrinkly, but we're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about how cucumbers are better than zucchini. Look, you can cook zucchini well, okay? You can, but they are fake cucumbers, and I will stand by that. If you have a veggie dish and you have put zucchini in it instead of cucumber, I will judge you. Let's get a better angle. So I'm just gonna make this kind of cubed. So I'm gonna cut it in quarters. And if you're smarter than me, you'll make the cucumbers not as thick as I just did, and instead of whatever chunks these are. See, look at this. Look at this beautiful cucumber. Not a zucchini. More fall vibes. And I think one of the most important things about eating lots of fruits and vegetables too is to make sure that you're eating organic. I can say it definitely makes a difference. Organic produce has significantly more nutrients in it, and it's also, you can look up that list that's like the Dirty Dozen or whatever. A lot of greens, especially when we're doing recipes like this, are gonna have a lot of pesticides on them unless you use organic. And it depends on where you go. Sometimes it can be a lot more expensive, but some places do have good options for organic produce. It's just kind of hard to find it sometimes. Now, the amount of cilantro you use is really up to you. I have a giant thing of cilantro here, but you definitely don't have to use this much cilantro. Probably add something like radishes to this. I'm sure that would taste good too. It's kind of a sweet, savory kind of a thing. Like my pumpkin bowl. I love it. I like the handles. You're able to pick them up way easier. Yeah, I like it. Alright, so now I'm just gonna add everything together, And while we do that, I wanted to talk a little bit about green things, especially when we talk about mental health. Think that green things, good things, are gonna show up as clear signs, right? Especially when you're healing yourself, and you might see a lot of people out there saying, this means you're healing, this means you're not healing, this means you're broken, this means you're not broken. But for everybody, it's going to be a little bit different. So much judgment too on how to heal or how you should be a good person. And I just want to say that if you are going on your own journey to discover all of that stuff, just remember that your happiness is like what is most important. And the things that make you happy, that's really important. For me, it's having this pumpkin dish. This brings happiness into my life. And I didn't think necessarily when I saw it I would like it so much, but the more I get to know about myself, the better it is. And I think a lot of people also feel a lot of stress when they're younger. I'm going to put the cilantro in. They feel a lot of stress when they're younger to be something, and I get a lot of people around me who are young and they will tell me, I feel like nothing, I feel worthless. And I'm like, well, you are a little bit of an empty shell right now. You're not supposed to know who you are because you haven't even gotten into the world yet. You're not looking around and seeing what things make them happy, what brings them joy. All they see are the things that they've filled their life with that maybe don't necessarily bring them joy, and so it feels like nothing to them because those things aren't there. And they don't have to be physical items either. They can be mental or emotional. It's really important, though, that people talk about when you're online and people are talking about mental health, some of that stuff is really, really toxic. So just keep your mind open, and realize that it's your own journey. And in the end, if you make a cucumber cilantro salad and it makes you happy, even if nobody else likes it, eat it anyway. Because maybe you'll find something else about yourself that you didn't know before. Like for me, I learned I love strawberries. I have these little strawberry magnets I put on my fridge. And people that I'm learning about in my life. So my kitchen, covered in flowers. And a lot of people would probably walk into my space and be like, that's so childish. I'm literally wearing a Tigger shirt right now that somebody gave me because they called me Tigger and they gave me a shirt, and I was like, oh, okay. That is who I am, It's just a representation of me, and it's kind of hard, especially when you feel like your outsides don't match your insides and people can't see you right, but it just takes a little bit of time, So give yourself some grace. All right, Z, please roll the tape.
And now, a short intermission. It's biscuit time.
What's up? Hi.
I have an old lime here, so I'm just going to put a little lime juice on top. Now, another thing a lot of people don't talk about is cleaning and depression. Just kind of brings your mood down. What helps me when I think about cleaning is imagining my space and what I want it to look like first. What things I want, where, and so when I imagine like where I want that bowl right here, that helps me because then I can envision where it goes instead of trying to eat the whole entire elephant at once. Not saying that it's easy to just look at something and be like, this is where it goes, but definitely envision like, this is what I want my cabinet to look like when it's all the dishes are washed and everything is done, focusing on that one thing, and then you can move to something else instead of trying to go back and forth and do so many different things at once, which sometimes works for me. I feel like I have some ADHD tendencies, but with the depression aspect of it, I do think sometimes it's a little easier to focus on one thing at a time. Space is messy. I just want to let you know, like, I struggled with that for years and years and years, and I still do every day. But it's a process of figuring out what things you want in your life. So yeah, just give yourself some grace. I'm sure the cooking show is gonna get better as time goes on and more people join. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you'd like to see more episodes, feel free to come along for the ride, and if not, that's okay too. Have a wonderful day. Bye. You